This is a sad day. This is my refund check for the deposit I made on the Tesla Model 3. I was like the eighth person in line. I watched Who Killed the Electric Vehicle and Revenge of the Electric Vehicle. I watched Who Killed the Electric Vehicle in like 2005 or 6, somewhere around there. And saw the gas prices go insane, and I was ready to stop giving my money over to countries who are, hell bent on going to war with us, and wanted to support Elon Musk. Saw the Model 3 as a great vehicle that's going to be fully autonomous. You're going to have unlimited free access to all superchargers, and it was going to have an instrument cluster in the center like a typical car. And those three things failed. I just completely lost hope in Tesla. They're burning through so much money. I wanted to get my money out before they ended up going bankrupt. I don't think they're going to go bankrupt. They have a lot of people backing them, and no other car company would have been able to go up against the big three and survive as many times as these guys have. Tesla's, I think the former exec Bob, I forget his last name, even admitted that if it wasn't for Elon Musk, they wouldn't have built the Volt. So they definitely got the ball rolling. And a few other reasons why I decided to back out of the Model 3 is that the IMF has now determined that they are no longer going to fund oil exploration. They are going to be focusing all their money towards green, renewable energy. Probably has something to do with the fact that Tesla's batteries were successful in Australia. And the final reason for me, backing out of this is because that Toyota has announced that by 2020, I think they're going to have about 5 vehicles that are going to be either electrified or plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. And by 2025, 100% of their fleet is supposed to be either electric or plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. And the day they come out with a Camry that's a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, or an Avalon, or a nice Lexus that is around the same price, and has a 100-mile range on the battery, 2 years later, when I make sure that there aren't any major flaws with these vehicles, I'll be putting my money down for one, and I'll find the best deal, someone who's willing to sell it. If I have to drive 1,000 miles away to get it, I drove, I think, over 700 to get our last car. I'm going to do that. So I wish you the best, Tesla. I wish you the best, Elon Musk. I think you guys are going to be just fine. I don't think your goal was to ever have Tesla be your number one company. I think your end goal has always been batteries with the Gigafactory. You are going to supply all the batteries to every single car manufacturer around the world. That's where it's going to be lucrative, and that's where you're going to just shine. These cars were just a way to prove that you can go far, you can be sexy, you can be fast, you can have everything you want. You don't have to have range anxiety. They've eclipsed over 300 miles now in a vehicle on one battery pack, one single charge. So, and they're going to be doing battery swaps and everything else. So Tesla, in one form or another, will be just fine. Their power walls, they ended up merging with Solar City, or acquired Solar City for panels. They're trying to do the complete unit, and now I guess they're trying to merge SpaceX as well. They may see a bust on the horizon, and they want to be able to claim we're too big to fail, we're too big to jail. That's going to happen all over again, I'm sure. But to summarize, I was the first person to stand outside of the door for the line for the Model 3 before the unveiling on May 31st of whatever year that was, I forget, probably 2015, I think. And it might have been 2016. Probably was 2016. I forget. Seems like a very long time ago. But Somebody let open the doors on the other side of the mall. So by the time we got in there, we were like the eighth person or something. They weren't supposed to open them until 8 or 9, I forget, and somebody else had got in there at 6. Uh, so I was there. I put my money down before the unveiling. I was ready for it. I loved it. I was not a fan of the body style when it first came out. I thought it was horrible. It's grown on me. I like it. But the fact that you are not putting an instrument cluster in there in the center, you want this to be fully autonomous. You want everybody to give up their freedom. And, the car is just, there's too much control you have to give up in order to own this car. You cannot drive this car without their permission. They could shut this car down at any time they wanted to. They can send up updates. They can disable it. They can do all kinds of things. And I'm not willing to give up my freedom like that. And they eventually want you to give up so much freedom that you're not even driving your own vehicle. The car is driving you. And if that thing should malfunction, you're at the will of that computer as to whether or not you're going to survive. You have no control over your life, your destination. And I'm not that kind of person. So I'm probably a control freak. I need control because I want to be determining how I end up. And if something goes wrong, I have nobody to blame but myself.